Okay, I'm Nikhila. I'm originally from India, but I live in Reston, Virginia.
Okay, great. So tell us a little bit about your background
Mhm.
and what brought you to Residency Success.
So I finished my medicine in 2016, and then I wanted to pursue residency here in my home country initially. So I started working and preparing simultaneously, and then after 2 years, I decided that I should go to US. But I know it's difficult after you graduate. They are like graduation year is very important for matching, and it also closes your doors for electives and all that stuff. So it is always difficult once you graduate, and I always had that on my mind. So
Mhm.
it added a lot of pressure for me. So uh, when first time I applied, I got 4 interviews,
Okay.
but I didn't match. So 4 interviews, I know it's not a, long list, but I had a potential to match, right? Once
Hmm.
I had four opportunities to match, but I didn't. And I felt right away in my interviews that there is some problem with my interview skills because I didn't get the positive vibe from the other side. I could notice that immediately.
Hmm.
And the main difference from my last match and this match was this time in the interviews, everybody said that I'm a potential candidate. They wanted to work with me. So I
Hmm.
could notice the difference.
Ah.
I was able to carry on the conversation,
Hmm.
and they wanted to most of the times the time has passed. We used to have like 20 minutes for each person, right? Every
Right.
time the time was passed and they still wanted to like talk or ask something, so that is a good sign actually. That
Okay.
didn't happen last time. They wanted to
Ah.
finish that in a hurry, so I
Mhm.
could right away notice from the interviews that okay, they did like me.
Okay,
So
excellent.
yeah.
So, what services did you take from Resident Success? Was it just the interview prep?
Yeah, I because I didn't know about this group about residency success before.
Hmm.
Like I was like nervous before my 1 week before my interview, and I
Uh-huh.
was going to the Facebook group, and then somebody posted that they did mock interviews with you, and it brought a lot of change, and they felt very comfortable in their interviews. So that is when I messaged Dr. Datta that I wanted a mock interview because I didn't have much time. Already I applied and it was like 1 week before my interview. So
Hmm.
I took two mock interviews
Okay.
because there was a limitation of time. But after the interviews, I felt that maybe if I kn- knew about residency success before, I
Hmm.
would have I would have taken help with my CV and PS as well
Hmm.
because I could,
But obviously you
yeah,
didn't need that, which was a
because
good thing.
now I felt that after applying, I did
Mhm.
some blunders in my PS.
Ah.
Yeah.
So, so can you tell us, like, in terms of how we did in servicing you, do you felt that uh, the work that we did, was it comprehensive for what you needed? Do you
Mhm.
felt like there was
Mhm.
something more that we could have done during the process to assist you?
Yeah, it was like only 1 hour, right? But I still remember the first day I did the mock interview with you, and you
Yeah.
made me practice. Tell me about yourself, like so many times until I got it the right way. And
Uh-huh.
I think that is an important question that can make or like break your interview. If
Mm-hmm.
they don't like you on the first, I think almost like 80% of the time people will have the first question as tell me about yourself. If
Right.
they don't feel positive uh, on that question, I think they will like it can go in other direction. So I think that is
Yeah.
very important question, and I really want to thank you for making me like practice that question because on the second day when I like did my mock with Dr. Datta, she said,
Yeah.
"Okay, it is on point. I
There
think
you
you don't
go.
need to change anything."
That's awesome. So, and I think you're exactly right about what you said in terms of when you go into an interview situation, and that is one of the first questions that they'll ask because they,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
they don't know who you are. So it
Yeah.
does really, in terms of how you describe yourself and how you project it, what you say, how comfortable you are in delivering that message does set the tone for the rest
Yeah.
of the interview.
That's the rest of the interview. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
So, thank you for that piece of feedback, and I think that is also very important, for other people, who we may show this to or tell them about that, you
I
have to
know.
practice. You have to
Yeah.
practice, and you're right about that. You
Yeah.
got to
Yeah. Yeah.
practice. It's not
And I
something.
want to add one other point. I'm not
Sure.
exaggerating, but after March 15th, when few of my friends approached, like they called me that they didn't match,
Hmm.
and I right away said that, at least take one mock interview with Residency Success. Just take one. Just practice with your friends. That is okay, but just take one mock with some
Oh.
team. And I felt Residency, because it is like super affordable. I think even
Hmm.
if people like are worried about, like, no, it can charge, they generally people may charge thousands of dollars, but
Hmm.
this was super affordable for people who are like struggling with money, or their own financial
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah. And that is actually very important to us. You know, we do this type of work because we enjoy working with people like yourself who need the additional support. And we all need support. Like I need
Yeah,
support for
yeah,
certain things.
yeah,
I
yeah,
need coaching for certain things. And it's nice to get somebody who has a perspective, the right perspective, obviously,
yeah,
the expert perspective to get you on the guided path. But we also did
yeah,
realize too that you guys are doctors, you have money that you owe, you're just starting out,
yeah,
and we wanted to make it affordable for people, because I think everybody needs this type of support. And if you're paying too much money for something like that, and you're not feeling that you're getting um, the right service, or if it's not benefiting you, then
yeah,
it's not going to be very helpful. So I'm
yeah,
glad that you mentioned that, because we do want people to know that we do this because we love doing this, and we do want to
yeah,
help people. So
yeah.
I mean, it's nice to make a little profit too, but but we want to make it affordable to the people
Yeah.
who need it to be affordable for their finances. Um, so do you feel like, if whenever you had a question, did you feel like it was easy to reach out to us? Were we responsive to any questions that you may
Yeah,
have?
I don't know if you remember, I emailed you about like a couple of questions
Mhm.
that I was anticipating, like tell me something which was not there in your CV. And I think I emailed you a couple of questions. I really didn't expect that you will give such a prompt and such a good reply for me. Like I think you replied like 2 hours after I email you. So that was
Mhm.
like really great because I had the interview next day. I
Okay.
was like really grateful for you because I didn't even expect that. Okay, yeah, my session was over and they don't owe me anything now. But I was really surprised and I was really glad that I got the reply and I got a wonderful reply. I really took your points and I did frame my answer and I was able to answer that question.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. So what other advice and would you give other people who are sort of in your shoes, were
Hmm.
struggling with aspects of the application process, or the whole match process in general? What advice would you give those people who were sort of hesitant in terms of
Yeah, yeah.
seeking somebody out, like Residency Success?
Yeah. Even when I applied first time, I was also in a notion that why I need to spend some dollars. I could do it myself. I can do the application. I can do the PS by myself, and I didn't even take help for in my interview preparation. So
Mm-hmm.
that really costed me an year.
Mm-hmm.
So you will miss many points in the application also, and I I missed so many points in my application the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really important to take someone help
Mm-hmm.
because that matters a lot. Yes, course matter a lot, but your application, your PS, and definitely the interview skills will matter a lot. So yeah, obviously you have spent thousands of dollars to get at this point, but I would suggest to spend some more dollars so that you can save a year
Yeah.
and get
Okay.
the right support.
Okay. That's
And yeah, after taking like one some mock interviews, then you start preparing with your friends, because the first time when I was preparing with my friends, everybody said, okay, your answer is okay, but there was like no major corrections to my answers. So
mm-hmm.
I followed like I did make the same mistakes, but there was nobody to correct.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's to have that sort of sounding board with
Mm-hmm.
somebody who can guide you and tell you, okay, well, um, this may be a different way of positioning,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
statement. And this is the reason why. Because I think
yeah,
that is also very important to understand is,
yeah,
okay, this is how you should say it, but this is why you should say it this way, so you can sort of understand and grasp. Okay,
yeah,
now I get it. That makes
yeah,
sense. Um,
yeah,
and like I said, Dr. Dada, she had, and the reason why she started this company is because she had her own struggles in
yeah,
managing the process, and it wasn't easy. And why should any person in the shoes of somebody who has struggled so much to get to the point of where you are, you put in a lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
hard work, and
yeah,
then to have that as another obstacle, right?
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and I think that's where we come in handy is that we are a sounding board, we are a guide. We try to hold your hand, but we also try to give you the autonomy to
yeah,
do the work. And the
yeah,
work is there, and as long as you listen
yeah, yeah,
and talk to us and heed the
yeah,
advice, it can work. And I think you're
yeah,
definitely a
yeah.
testament to that.
Yes. So we practice like 7 or 8 questions, right?
Hmm.
Even though we practice at like 7 or 8 questions, the conversation was like beyond those 8 questions. So the
Hmm.
starting statements or the connecting statements, it will help you with the other questions as well.
Hmm.
So the
So tell me,
interviewer,
yeah, can you tell me a little bit about the types of questions that you got during your interviews?
some were the like basic questions like tell me about yourself, tell me about your clinical experience or an interesting case or a conflict. That was like a normal set of questions, but their out of box questions were
Hmm.
tell me about something which was not there in your CV.
Hmm.
And some of the interviewers asked, okay, leave about USMLE, leave about residency. Tell me what in normal life frustrates you or what in normal life makes you happy,
Hmm.
and how do you deal with that frustrations in your
Hmm.
life or in your personal life. So those sort of questions we can't prepare like to every question, right?
All right.
But I think the conversation with Dr. Data and you, it helped. I recorded both my mock interviews and I listened it to a couple of times, so it
Hmm.
helped me to make that starting connecting statements, to take a
Hmm.
pause, like to answer any type of question.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this, yeah,
Yeah,
I
and,
think that was like,
a critical part of that
yeah,
process.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm glad you raised that because the interview process, especially going into the field of medicine where there is so much stress, right?
yeah,
There's a lot of pressure that you have to deal with as a physician. Of course, they want to ask questions that are related to your skill set and what your capabilities are, what you've experienced in the past. That is very important. They need to know that. And they obviously can see a lot of the information from what you put on your CV, or maybe even what you put into your personal statement. But,
yeah,
the balance of that too is how do you manage that stress, which is why
yeah,
they ask these more sort of personal questions to see
yeah,
how you deal with that in your life, right?
yeah, yeah,
And then also trying to get a sense of you as an individual, your
yeah,
sense of
yeah,
self. Um, And that is also very important to show. They need to know that, you're not a
Yeah.
robot, that you're a human being.
Yeah.
And you do struggle, but when you do struggle, those struggles, and you're able to manage that. And that
Yeah.
is I think part of being in the type of role that you choose to that you chose to do in
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
you are this is a high stress career path.
Process. Yeah.
And you need to have that sort of work life balance, to keep yourself at least somewhat sane.
Yeah.
Right.
And I want to say for the future applicants, if the interview is going in that direction, like they wanted to know about your personal side or your personal behavior, that is going in a good direction. Don't panic or don't go
Okay.
blank because they like your CV. They just wanted to know you as a person as well. They wanted to dig more. So I think it's a positive direction to your interview.
Okay,
If they
great.
don't like you in their first or second question, they don't want to continue, I think.
Well, I
They'll
mean,
just ask you, okay, they ask me some questions, or they just want to finish that interview session.
yeah, yeah, yeah. First impressions make a big
Yeah,
difference, right?
yeah, yeah,
Right. And that first impression is going to be based on that first question they asked you. So,
yeah, yeah,
um, whatever that may be.
yeah.
So, can you tell us, what did you match in, and where did you match, and what your
Uh,
future plans are?
I matched in MedPeds, Marshfield Clinic.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I know MedPeds was competitive because there will be very few spots in MedPeds, like around four or two in each program. So I applied IM as a backup, but I'm glad that I matched into MedPeds, which was my choice.
Okay, excellent, excellent.
Yeah,
And where is this hospital located?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So, what do you plan to do after residency? Have you thought about that, or what are your
Uh,
future goals?
For right now, I am planning to be a hospitalist,
Okay.
but I don't know. Maybe if I find some elective interesting, I might go for fellowship. This program has a very good research, so it will definitely open my doors towards fellowships as well.
Excellent, excellent. So, before I leave today, is there anything else you'd like to share or that you'd like to add? You can tell us, the Resident Success, your thoughts, or anybody who be, thinking about taking our services. What would you tell them?
First thing, like you're doing a great job. Like I can feel the compassion towards the students, the you and the rest of the team, Dr. Datta, not only for the paid services, but also in the live sessions you conduct on the Facebook group. They were like super informative, the rank order list, and even for the interview preparation. So it
Mm-hmm.
shows that you are like compassionate. Not only it's like a business for you, but it shows a lot of commitment towards students. So uh, I think interview preparation was great, but I didn't take the other services. It could have added a couple of interviews under my belt if I did so. So I think it's definitely we need help. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We might think we know there is no need of any help. We can practice with other colleagues or other friends, but it will definitely make a difference. And I really felt from my last match to this match, it will definitely make a difference.
Okay, excellent. And one more question: how many interviews did you have?
I had 8 interviews this time,
8
so it's
interviews.
like
Okay.
double, yeah,
Yeah.
double the interviews I got
Okay.
last time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and because the major factor was research and step three,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah,
and some
so
more
that
clinical
added,
experience. Yeah,
right.
few
So that added
interviews.
to it.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, great. Great.
yeah,
Thank you, Nikhila.
yeah. And I think I just wanted to add one thing. Last year, when
Sure.
I sent the letter of intent after my interviews, I
Hmm.
didn't get a single reply. But this time, almost like six of my programs, they did send me a like really sweet messages, like replies towards my letter of intent.
That is
And
awesome.
yeah, and
That
one
is
of the APD
awesome.
said, I will definitely back you up in my like they have meetings for the rank order list, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was like, okay, I was getting positive vibes that, okay, I might match with seeing those
That is
replies. Yeah.
so great to hear. I mean, you know, part of the process does not, I mean, the process doesn't completely work unless we have people like you, like I said before, who are willing to actually heed our advice. And I think you did an excellent job of doing that. So you were receptive to it. You didn't push back. You know,
Yeah.
and you know, there are some people who will do that. But I think you really did listen, and you took you know, the advice that we gave to you, and you ran with it, and that obviously worked out in your
Reflected.
favor.
Yeah.
So that makes us feel good that you know, you excelled in that space as a very good student and a very good candidate. Okay. All
Thank
right.
you so much. Thank you so much for helping me out. This was like, this journey has been so stressful, not only on me, but also on my family.
Yeah.
Like everyone is relieved now.
Yeah, good, good. I'm so thrilled to hear that. But you know, Nikhila, thank you so much again for, you know, taking the time out. I know, you know, you're on vacation and everything, but I'm so glad that we got to do this sooner than later before everything got
Yeah, I don't want to
entirely too
postpone
busy
it.
for
That is
you.
why, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Totally wanted to do it. Yeah.
good. So yeah, definitely spread the word.
Yes, that
You know,
I
you know,
already did, but I would like continue it.
okay, good.
Yeah.
Please do. You know, we really do appreciate, I think, you know, a lot of, you know, we love that get the business by word of mouth, by people who have been through the experience, they've been through the journey, they know what it's about, they understand the benefits of it. And I think that to us is more of a champion, you know, advocate than anybody else could be for us, you know, in terms of marketing and whatnot. But you know, I do appreciate you spreading the word, and you know, reach out to us if there's anything else that we can do for you,
Yeah, sure.
and keep us up to date. Please stay in
Yeah,
touch.
sure,
We want to
sure,
know what's
sure.
going on with you. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Enjoy the rest of your time in India, and safe travels back to the States. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Take care.
Yeah.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.